You're gonna want to hear this. The following is guaranteed to knock your ears right off. Not intended for the faint of heart.
But we are on. This is the Lounge Around podcast with your host Liam Saranich, with my only amazing co-host Jack.
Hello, it's good to be back.
It's good to be back. No Matt today. No Bree. 2 boys and 2 mics.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Can you not hear anything?
No, it's just like so loud. It's like blurry.
Oh, just turn the knob down. Do you
It's not doing anything.
Do you want to switch seats?
Sure.
Yeah. Let's see if that works. Hopefully that fixes everything. It's fine. I'll be able to lean like this as I talk to you.
Can you hear me through here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is everything good there?
Yeah, it's better.
Your headphone? Yeah,
They don't work, but
just
it's
switch seats too. You don't have to like.
Well, it's fine. This is fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, Jackie, good to have you back. It's been a week since I've seen you, basically.
It's good to be back.
And,
Yeah, it's been a busy
I missed
week.
you. You know what the best part was when I first saw you again?
What?
I got $5 from you.
That's true. I know my boy Gaethje let me down.
We bet on Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje. I picked Max. You picked Gaethje. Everyone was against Max.
Yep.
But I was like, I know he got it.
Yeah, well, then you break your nose early. It's hard to come back.
Well, yeah,
from that.
I think that is the calling sign of a losing match when you do break your nose. Literally the end of the first round. Things
are not looking.
Did you
up
not
from
see
there.
the kick? Did you not see the kick he had?
I didn't see the video. That's like,
dude.
I turned it on in like round 3 or 4.
Dude, you have to see the kick, dude. It was disgusting. The spinning kick he got on him. It was hold on 1 second, sorry. Just setting up some stuff for later. Yeah. So the kick he got was phenomenal, and then the last, like the knockout punch, the last second of the last
that was
round,
great. Just great
I
ending.
jumped out of my chair.
Yeah, me too. It was a
And I
great
called
fight.
you immediately, and I was like, "Where's my money?"
But I was like, you deserved it because, like,
Yeah.
Both those guys are really tough dudes.
Yeah.
And
then next
time,
I was like, "Okay, let's bet that $5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep that single $5.
that single one, give it back. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll see what the next fight is.
Yeah. But before we get into all the other stuff, you traveling, we were talking about wrestling before we got here and about jiu-jitsu stuff. We were talking about the passion for wrestling too. I feel like some people do wrestling and they do like jiu-jitsu stuff, but they just don't have the passion for it, or like I feel like they misrepresent what wrestling is. I think
they'll do it for the wrong reasons.
They'll do it for the wrong reasons, maybe. Yeah, I think some people they get an ego when they start learning a lot of that stuff, and then they really, really, I don't know how to explain it. Like they really, oh my god! Now we're on live radio. Someone didn't click the button. Someone clicked the button and was off. So we were.
That's okay.
Now we're on live radio because
Yep.
someone clicked the button that
Hello.
took me off. But I'm here with Jack, so
Yep.
that's for the live
Hello.
stuff. But what was I saying? Yeah, so we're talking about wrestling just now. Passion about wrestling. Some people have egos, I think, sometimes with it. And I don't know. I kind of get very annoyed, I think, with like people sometimes with like my career of wrestling in general. Just watching people come in and they're like, oh, I'm a wrestler, like I'm this, I know this and that, like I'm an expert at this stuff. They come in and then they wrestle and then they're like, oh wait, stop, like I don't want to wrestle anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Like it's not fun. And I'm like, well, why are you even coming in the first place?
Right. And I feel like the biggest thing the biggest determining factor in how long someone's going to stay at it is how much they enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Right. And how much pleasure they derive out of actually wrestling and being on the mats.
Yeah.
If someone likes the idea of wrestling or being a wrestler, that's not, or being able to win a fight, that's not what it's about. And that's not going to take you the length.
Yeah.
That's not going to keep you in it more than like just loving it will. And that's true of anything you do.
For sure. I agree. And I think people want to like, I think people I think people like have such an over passion for some stuff too, that they kind of want to share that passion with other people. But I feel like they like misconstrued it and like not really like show them the right way to do everything. I think that could get a little messy with some people, you know. I don't know.
I think some people, I mean, it's just a personal thing, but like some might view it differently. But it's also, as much as these are like, you know, wrestling, grappling sports are a lifestyle, it's like a way of life.
Yeah.
They are sports.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, and people seem to like that seems to get lost.
No, yeah, and it's a highly intense sport.
I mean, you should compete like it's life or death, obviously,
for sure.
But at the end of the day, it's a sport.
Yeah, it's a sport, and I think
so enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I love it. I can't stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's addictive.
I'm meant to retire, man. I'm like in semi-retirement, and I'm still trying.
Yeah, a lot of guys. I've seen videos of like, you know, old men.
Yeah, in their 50s. Yeah, they're still trying to do it. Yeah, and they
God
can't.
Bless them.
And then they go to WWE and they're like, "This is real wrestling." Like, no, it's not. You think it is, but it's not.
Yeah, no, it's entertaining.
But no, I don't know. I don't know. Like I did wrestling from 4th grade to sophomore year in high school, and then I had to stop sophomore year, and then I got back into it in college when I got back to college. You know what I mean? And ever since then, I've kind of fallen back in love with it.
Yep.
And I do like rolling with you and then a few other people, and you know,
whoever comes.
Yeah.
But no, it's a good group. Whenever they do come, they're good guys.
No, yeah, I think it's a good group. It's a small group, but a good group of guys.
Yep.
And some other people, but that's the only shade I'll throw. But I think I really do hope people actually like want to like learn how to do a sport like that. It's helped me immensely, like mentally, physically, things like that, you know, made me feel like a lot better as a person, more mentally than physically. I got a lot of injuries now from it, but more mentally I feel a lot better. And
I think it's connected in large part to the physical health too.
For sure.
Yeah. Better blood flow.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
Yeah, better blood flow. Yeah. Yep. Nah. Nah. Nah.
Perfect.
It was good. But it'll be on the recording.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good. But yeah, what was I saying? But yeah, no, I love the competitions. I was actually watching a lot of wrestling videos during the break. I want to show you some wrestling stuff because I wanted to show you some of that stuff. My family found some videos.
Oh, cool.
Of like some stuff I've won, some I lost. But I think it's like I got like 50-50. I got like some I won, some I lost, which is nice.
Good.
And I definitely want to show you some of those during the break. But I'm gonna actually probably compete again.
Very cool.
In July. Yeah, you should do it with me.
I'm also heavily considering it.
Caesar's gonna do it with me.
If you guys are doing it, I'll do it.
Caesar's doing it.
But I also don't want to do the one out of Newtown, the jiu-jitsu one.
I'll do that one.
And we're talking about the weight classes, whether I should
cut and do the little
guys. Well, the ones basically, it's either like cut to 145 or be in the 162.
Let me tell you the weight class.
I would be stronger in the 145, but I would be probably faster in the 162.
So the wrestling tournament I'm going to be doing, the weight classes, ready for these ones? You have 106, 113, 120, 126, 132, 138, 144, 150, 157, 167, 175, 190.
That's cool. They got a lot of
215 and 285. Yeah, but it's different in high school because a lot of them, like you had like, you didn't really have so many like 130s stuff. It was like you kind of went from 130 to like 140 immediately.
Yeah. And
you didn't have like, well, you had a lot of those 120 stuff, but it was like 152, and then it was like 160, not 157. That's a weird 157.
157 is weird.
It's a weird number, but yeah. I mean, I want to do it. I call my mom about it.
I'd love to do it.
I call my mom about it.
Yeah,
does not want me to do it. She's like, well, when you get hurt and you.
Yeah, that's what everyone. I mean, but it's
when
like
you,
that's what
when you
says,
get hurt don't be calling me saying, I wish I didn't do it. I'm like, well, you're going to be there. And when I get hurt, it's going to be awesome because you're going to see it.
She'll get entertained.
She'll get entertained. Her, my father, I tell my dad, he said he would go. And then some other people I talked to, they said they would come watch too.
And where'd you say it was out of again?
It's at Middletown. It's in Middletown.
Okay.
Let me see. Let's see. I'm trying to find it. Middletown. It's at Middletown High School.
Gotcha.
Be good.
It's not too far. Yeah, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Love to.
Yeah. Which one are you gonna do? Because you have to go from, you have 150, 157, 165. What weight class are you thinking? Because I'm thinking 190 or 220.
So that's low for you.
Yeah.
Realistically, I'd probably take 150.
Mm-hmm. I'm like
because I'm probably like 155 now.
30 something right now.
Yeah, that would be big for you to take 190.
Yeah. I would cut
bold.
all the way to 186. I would try to weigh in at 186.
Good luck with that. You better start early.
No, I'm already starting.
Good.
Yeah. No, I haven't eaten anything all day.
Well,
no, I'm joking.
don't starve yourself.
No, I'm only messing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta look because I gotta get my scale in my room. Doesn't have batteries in it, or like the batteries.
Oh, I have no idea what I weigh. I haven't weighed myself like.
Well, I'm gonna weigh myself when I get the batteries. Hopefully Thursday. Yeah. So if you want to see as well,
yeah, I will.
Yeah, and then I want to see because depending how much I weigh, it's gonna depend on how much you're gonna cut. Because it's 215 actually the weight, not 220. Let me see. Yeah, 215. So if I'm like 230 something, 215 is probably the ideal. I'm not going 285 because it goes from 215 to 285. So I'd be like,
what's the one below 215?
190.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough on the big guys. They're not as small increments.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm kind of like,
I'm fine. I could choose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have plenty of options.
You got plenty of options. I have to cut.
What do you think would be better for me though? 150?
How much you weigh right now?
155 or so. I'm not that far off from 150. Or should I do 157 and like try to bulk up for that? But it's just tough because I don't want to be in like a bulk strong like state coming up to that. I want to be in a lean wrestling jiu-jitsu
I think you probably gonna want to do the 157.
You think?
I think.
But I feel like, dude, if I'm like rolling all summer,
think about this, right? Because you're gonna be cutting. You're gonna cut 5 pounds and hit 150.
But I do that by accident sometimes.
But that's only if you hit 150 on the dot. Now, if you really want to make 150, you're gonna have to cut 2 pounds underneath that. So you're gonna
148.
You're gonna be like 148 at least, having to go in there. Even then, because of scales, it might add a pound or two because of different scales and all that stuff. So realistically, your scale should say 146 if you're going to go in for 150, just in case.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened with my scales. Because I would go in at my house, I'd be like, oh, I weighed this much. And I go there, and I weigh like 2 pounds extra because of the scale. Mm. So it's always like, oh, God. And, and you don't want to drink anything or eat anything beforehand. But, at the same time, you want to make sure you're going to be like...
Yeah, so 157 would be... Probably because I could be fed.
Yeah,
I could feel good and have nutrients in my body.
Yeah, I would just say if you're gonna do 157, you should cut to 153. Just so you have that four. Just so you have,
around that.
Just
now,
so you
honestly.
have a 4 pound like difference between it, so you don't have to like worry about having to go over or anything like that, because it sucks when you're over.
Yeah,
it's not fun because. Yeah. I had to lose like 2 pounds in like an hour for wrestling. I had to run up and down the stairs, and I did it.
And you're spitting, I've heard.
Did all that. Spit. I had to spin a cup.
Yeah.
Had to like use the bathroom a few times.
That's crazy.
Had to like really make sure I was drained completely.
Oh.
All the fluid, and then after that, like what I would do is I wouldn't eat for like 2 days before the match. I'd get there, have a bacon, egg, and cheese. When I get there after I weighed in.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't drink any water or barely any water the day before. So I would go in with like no water weight, basically.
Jeez.
Or try to get rid of water weight.
Yeah, that's hard.
Because water weight, you have like 20 pounds of water weight.
Oh, yeah.
So if you cut all the water weight. Because the thing is, if I get rid of all my water weight, I can weigh in at like I can get it 150.
I mean, right now, if you lost your water weight, you'd be like 215 maybe.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Probably 212 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Very exciting. I got to get into a gym and start paying somebody.
I know. But in other news, you went on a trip.
I did go on a trip.
You went on a trip in a famous rocket ship thrown through the sky. Because you're a little Einstein.
Well, trying.
See? It all works out because you're like a science and then more science.
Yeah,
you see like you see what I try to do there? And
I see it. It was clever.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I tried.
So I went to California, Long Beach, California, to present my research at the National Conference for Undergraduate Research. And then I went to Niagara Falls to present my research at Eastern College's Science Conference.
Yeah.
And, for anyone listening that goes to Eastern, I will be presenting it also at Create, April 19th, this Friday. If anyone interested.
What time?
It's sometime between 10 and 12:30.
In the morning?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be there.
Cool.
I'll try to... Wait, 10 to 12:30?
Yeah. It's fine if you can.
I have class at 11, but I'll be there at 10.
I'm not sure when it will, like the exact time. It's only a 15-minute, talk or whatever.
I'll be there at 10 regardless.
Okay.
So that I'll at least see you and give you some encouraging words.
Thanks, bro. But no, it went very well, and I won some awards that I applied for, one of which being for a manuscript I wrote for my research. So it was a very good week,
So how was the trip there, basically? Did you take a car?
We took a plane out to California.
Plane out to California. How was the plane ride? Is that your first time on a plane?
No, I've been on a plane many times, but it was a long one.
Really?
I flew to Egypt before, which was like 50.
Is that your first time in California?
Yeah. I've never been that far west. And, it was like a 6-hour flight or 5.5 or something like that. 5, I don't know.
How different is it than Connecticut?
It's a good question. I think I definitely did notice like a cultural difference in the people.
Really?
I feel like there definitely was. I just like people felt slower.
Slower?
Yeah, and more like open to just like chilling. Not slower and like dumber.
No,
more relaxed.
I know what you meant
chilling
by that. Yeah,
and like being just themselves and chilling.
Yeah, no, it's funny.
I don't know. Maybe it was just like confirmation bias, but
yeah, all of them, they're all fat. No.
Well, it just smelled like weed.
Pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. But who'd you sit next to on the flight? You sit next to your professor? Or something like
I sat next to a kid that came on the trip who was in the music department.
Really?
Aiden, I believe his name was. Aiden. He was a very smart kid. And he had a nosebleed on the, not to like air him, but it was a very, because I have nosebleeds all the time.
Yeah, no,
so it was
me
like
too.
a very like, we had connected over that.
Yeah, me too.
I had tissues in my bag.
We connected over that too.
We did, yeah.
See, so me, you, and Aiden, it's like a triangle.
It's like a blood bond.
Blood bond.
But yeah, and I gave him napkins, and it was like a bonding moment. So it was all right. But like the way back was
you
really
hand him the
brutal.
napkins. He grabs your hand. You guys lock
Yeah,
eyes.
we locked eyes.
It's totally a love story. Yeah.
But yeah, on the way back, it was brutal. I sat in the middle seat between a man who, when I woke up, was dry heaving into a doggy bag.
Are you serious?
Breathing, yeah. And the girl next to me was fine, but it's also like I felt bad.
Yeah.
I was just uncomfortable. I barely slept, and then I went to Niagara Falls like the day I got back. Slept for 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours when I got back, and then I had to do all this stuff, and I drove up to Niagara Falls in the school van.
Yeah.
But it was a great time.
Back up to Niagara Falls in the school van.
Yeah. Well, we went to Utica, and then we stayed there, and then we went to Niagara Falls the next day.
Got it.
And then came back the next day, stayed in Utica, then went back the next morning. Just to because to drive straight to Niagara Falls was like.
How long were you in California for again?
4 days.
4 days, really?
4 days, and I was in.
Did you have fun though? Were you able to do a lot of things?
It was amazing. I had such a fun time because I just had some free time to do some stuff.
You go to the beach.
Yeah, went to the beach. It was great on the beach, and it was like we were free. It was expensive. I spent a lot of money on food and drinks and stuff, but
they didn't pay for that.
No, which my mentor was very upset to hear that.
Really?
But it was great, going out to the bar for watching the UConn game and just doing some really fun stuff. And the conference was great too. I just loved, talking about my research and seeing other research projects. It was very cool.
So you did the research thing in California, right?
Yeah.
Now, talk me through, the presentation. Talk me through, like, that whole thing, like, when you got there, like, where did you actually present at exactly?
So, they had us staying on the Queen Mary.
The Queen Mary.
Which is, like,
the haunted boat?
Haunted ship. I stayed on the haunted...
You stayed on the haunted boat?
I swear to God. And I was in the lower
Did you see
deck.
a ghost?
Nah, it's ridiculous.
I don't believe, but...
But you know what? I can see why people think it, because sound carries very strongly.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because it's very, like, thin walls, and it's, like, the way that it's just, like, it's like a tunnel.
Like, I was going to say, it's a tunnel.
You
so
see, like, hear a girl laugh next door or whatever.
No, that was a ghost.
Right, exactly. That's what's implied, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't think it was haunted. But that was, like, a 35-minute walk from the Long Beach Convention Center where the conference was held. Yeah. And we had, like, an opening talk by this woman. Very inspiring.
Was the room nice in the Queen Mary?
Not really. I had no service on my phone. I couldn't use my phone or my laptop.
Are you on the water?
I was like,
is the Queen Mary in the water?
Yeah, it is.
So was it rocking?
Not really. I didn't feel it because it's like a big, strong boat. Yeah. But you know, it was all right. But I had a great time in California. Good food. Went to the aquarium, the research stuff, just being in there.
Yeah. You were at the Queen Mary.
Yeah.
And you stayed there for like your hotel, quote unquote.
Yep.
Where did you go to present though?
The Long Beach Convention Center.
Long Beach Convention Center.
Yeah.
And then when you got there, what did you like?
I went into a room. Like they had, because this conference had 4,300 participants. Or something. And so like on
4,300.
Yeah.
Jeez.
From all over. It's a national conference. And
how long was the whole thing?
3 days or something.
3 days?
Yeah, I think so, or 2 days. Yeah, the first day we got there, we didn't do anything.
Yeah.
The next day, we had to, like, check in. And then the next day, 2 days were, like, the actual conference. So it was, like, 2 days, kind of. But, yeah, so I got there, and I, like, they had emailed me what room I was presenting in. And I just went to the room, and there was, like, you know, some audience, some kids from, like, Minnesota or something. Random people.
Yeah.
And I gave and also kids that were coming from Eastern, and I gave my talk, and it went very well. And I went to the poster session, looked at kids' posters, supported my fellow Eastern students.
Yeah. How long was your talk though?
It was 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
So it's like 12 or whatever, and then 3 minutes of questions typically.
Got it. And people ask questions.
Yeah.
How many do you think like a good few?
Like 3 typically, but the one So that was my trip in California. Then when I went to Niagara Falls, we went to Niagara University for the Eastern Colleges Science Conference. So this is a regional conference with Eastern.
I heard that how you get in the colleges, you have to go actually down in a barrel, down the falls. And you kind of just go, whoop.
I think we found like another route. I did not.
I think we found another
I do not remember any barrel entry.
Oh, well.
But yeah, so we went to Niagara University. And they had this opening talk, and I had to use the bathroom really bad. I was struggling to listen. It was bad. But after that, they sent me to a room, and in this room, it was like other students, obviously from all over, who were also doing presentations in that room, but also like professors who were like judging it.
Yeah.
And so I was a bit more like, oh, this is this is a big deal. But I did very well and I answered their questions. But they had probably 5 questions they asked me. There was a lot of questions, from like these really smart people. Professors.
Do you think they kind of like were like almost picking apart your research a little?
Of course.
Did you think they believed? Do you think they like were like? Do you think they actually like actually valued your research and stuff?
I think they definitely did. Because I feel like it was well received. I talked to one of the guys after, and he was very nice to me. And I heard my mentor told someone that people were very impressed by it. Good. And then I was able to answer all the questions. And I asked her after I finished, I said, if you could give me a grade, what could you give me? She said 100.
Your mentor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what were some of the questions they asked you?
Well, we could get into the specifics of the research. It would have to be kind of like
in
context with that.
Why don't let's stick on the travel thing, and then after the break we'll go into the research itself.
Sure. Yep.
So when you were there, you sent me a picture. I actually saved it to my phone. The Niagara Falls picture.
It was cool.
It was sick. Yeah, I want to see that. Was it awesome?
It was incredible. I have more pictures to show you.
Awesome.
Like that one.
Yeah,
show me some cool ones.
Yeah, I'll show you the wrestling stuff in the break. I'm trying to think what else to ask. What else did you see in Canada though? Was it your first time?
It wasn't Canada.
No, yeah, because Niagara Falls.
We went to the New York side.
Yeah.
We could see Canada.
Yeah,
it was right there.
because it's like it's a border. Yeah. Okay.
Honestly, dude, all those. I mean, not to generalize, but most of those upstate New York kind of towns reminds me of like fishing towns I went to growing up.
Really?
Like, they're dumpy.
Dumpy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very dumpy. A lot of abandoned buildings. A lot of drug users.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the woman bagging my toothbrush was like on fentanyl or something. You know what I mean? Like nodding off into the bag. And then she's like, "Sorry, I'm tired." And I was like, "It's okay. I just wanted to like be as nice as I possibly
You look great.
could."
Where are you from?
No, she was not talking that much.
No.
She didn't say a word except "Sorry, I'm tired." Like I couldn't even hear it before that.
Yeah.
Whatever. But God bless her.
God bless her for sure.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, but like, what else did you see though, other than that? Like, you saw like abandoned. Did you see anything like actually nice when you were in Canada or in upstate New York? My bad.
Yeah. So the falls were nice. What else did we do?
And so what I'm hearing is, I thought Niagara Falls was completely in Canada, fully in Canada.
No, there's a New York side, and you can cross over. But
So
there's like an
what I'm hearing
observation
is
deck,
America's the
which is
best country in the world because we do actually have a natural wonder. So suck
We
it.
do. And Grand Canyon.
And Grand Canyon.
Yep.
So suck it, other places other than all our fans from Arabia and England and Iceland.
Yeah, Stonehenge is stupid.
Ireland, we love you.
Ireland's cool. I love Ireland.
Stonehenge is stupid. No, but no, I think that it's awesome though. Would you do it again? You think for sure?
I would go to California again.
Yeah.
Probably Niagara Falls. I mean,
was it like you had to go to both?
I mean, yeah, but it's not even like I had to. It was a great opportunity. I applied for these.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying like, I'm saying like, could you have gone to California and not had to go to or to New York?
I could have passed on it,
Yeah,
but I
okay.
figured I should. It's a good.
No, yeah, I
experience,
think you should have too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it was good.
It was good. It went very well.
I told you I was very happy for you, man. I was
thank
hyped
you.
for you. I said you should do it.
And at the this is a funny detail. At the conference, like everyone was getting food, but the day of their presentation.
Mm-hmm.
And I just took like such like a. I felt like such an internet guru or whatever because I was like, I'm just gonna have a black coffee and nothing else. Because my talk was at like 11 or something or noon. We got up at like 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I don't want any food in my system.
No, you're yakking up.
I was just like, let me just be straight.
Do you think
hungry.
were you feeling like that heart pounding feeling?
Not really, because I wasn't like starving. Because I ate a lot the night before.
No, I'm saying like, were you nervous?
A little bit. I mean, it's hard not to be nervous before doing any sort of public speaking, but like I know I'm gonna do well.
Yeah.
Partly because
Yeah.
I know this stuff I've done this stuff for so long. You know, I've given so many presentations on my research and like I've just been over this topic so many times. You could ask me any question, you could be any,
Yeah.
and I'd probably have a decent answer. So I feel confident about this topic.
Well, you're gonna go to UConn next.
I am.
Yeah, next year.
Yep.
And I talk at UConn sometimes. I've done 2
see you
talks.
there, yeah.
You better come to one of them. I do
course
it
I will.
again.
I will
Better.
for sure.
I will hold it against you. If you don't.
Just give me the dates, brother.
Just give me your dates, brother.
Yeah, I know. I sounded like what's his name?
Sketch.
Sketch.
Sorry for cussing. That guy. No, but that's awesome, dude. If you had to probably say like, if a conference was held somewhere else in the world, if I give you like a few options, I want you to rank which one you would actually go from like first to last. Do you think?
Okay.
Right. So I'm gonna go like I'll do 5 countries,
All right, yep.
and you gotta like do your presentation, and like I kind of want you to like really think about like which one you think's really gonna like hear this out. I feel like a lot, and you're actually gonna want to be there and
Yeah, and have fun time in my free
experience
time.
that. Yeah. So
Okay.
okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Give you 5 countries. Germany. Do you want to write these down actually?
Yeah.
So you don't forget.
Grab a pen.
All right.
Actually, this conference I want to go to. It's like my dream conference. It's called through the Society for Neuroscience. It has like 30,000 participants.
Yeah.
And it's in Chicago next year, this year, later.
Let's do it.
I want to do. I'm gonna try to submit my abstract
Yeah.
and get in there. You know, pretty cool.
Yeah, I wrote a signature on one of those napkins the last time we were here.
What was that?
I wrote a signature on the napkin
Oh,
last time.
nice. Autograph.
Yeah. All right. So the first one's Germany.
Yep.
The next one, I'm going to say India.
Okay.
Wait. Japan.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of other ones there.
I actually might be going to Japan.
Really?
I am going to Japan next summer.
I'm going to give you 6 then. So you have 6.
Okay.
All right, so I said Germany, India, Japan. I'm trying to think of more European ones that'd be good. Oh, let's say like France. That'd be good. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We have some more obscure ones now. No, the big ones people know. I'm gonna not go like too hard. Let's say like Italy.
Okay.
That'd be a good one, right?
Yep.
And then let's go one like in South America. Let's say Argentina.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So you have the 6 places, and I want you to tell me from like I want you to like basically don't have the same order and all that stuff. But like I want you to put from like your first option all the way to your last option, and I want you to kind of explain like why as well you think these places too. You know?
Okay, I got it.
You got it already?
Yeah.
Perfect. Can I guess what's last?
Actually, I'm gonna change my answer.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you mine.
Okay, yeah. What's yours?
Can I see the list? Oh wait, I don't want to.
Okay, so I'll give you the countries: Germany, India, Japan, France, Italy, Argentina.
So I would definitely do. I actually would probably do Italy first.
Okay.
That'd be my first.
Yep.
Germany would be my second.
Okay.
I would want to do Argentina. I'll do Italy, Argentina, Germany. Then I would probably do. I would probably do Japan, France, and India would be my last one.
Italy, Argentina,
Germany.
Germany. Yep.
And then I said Japan, France, India, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So what I said was my first would be Argentina.
Really?
Because they have incredible trout fishing. They have massive sea run trout.
Yeah.
They're incredible.
Yeah.
And also they eat a lot of red meat, and I love steak. It's like it's my favorite food. It's and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful landscape, beautiful ecosystem. So I would love to go to there. That'd be really cool. My second would be Italy. Right.
Oh, so we've like flip-flopped our first and second.
Kind of, yeah. So Italy, great food, art, culture, etc.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I think that's what I thought about Italy too, because I think more Argentina has more of a nature-esque side of it. I think Italy has more of like the like really deep like buildings and like history, decadence, whatever you want to call it, art. I think
that'd be nice, and also the food is just it would just be nice to eat good food.
Yeah.
My third was Japan. I just think Japanese culture is really cool, interesting. I am going to Japan, I think, next summer, so that should be interesting. But I also took like a class on like samurai in college, pretty cool. So I like that stuff. Shinto, etc.
Yeah.
Fourth, Germany. It's a good one. 5, India. 6, France.
Really? France
and last.
France and last.
I have no interest in going to France.
Really?
I've heard bad things about the people. Not to generalize, but I've heard they're snobby.
That's why I put France like second to last. You know what I mean? Because I was just like, I don't. For some reason, I feel like they're more of a like people are like it's the city of love.
Yeah,
Paris.
which is ridiculous.
I think it's a
city of creeps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think honestly like. I think more people were more angry in France than Germany. I really do think that because I've heard more good things about people in Germany than I've heard more. Like I heard French people were like a-holes sometimes.
At least within the last few years.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe the last few decades.
Yeah, this is like post 1950.
Yeah. Yeah, post
1945.
Yeah, post 1930. Wait.
Yep.
No. No, but I definitely I've heard a lot of good things about Germany, and they have like that highway I want to see.
It is a beautiful country.
Have you heard about the highway in Germany where it's like there's no speed limit?
I've seen that. Yeah.
I want to go that so bad.
That'd be cool. But also, I'm scared to drive too fast. Like,
it's like no one's on there basically. And then you just go and go and go.
It'd be cool.
And then if you crash, it's kind of over immediately. You don't really feel it.
Yeah, but it's like, who wants to do that?
Yeah, but if you crash, it's like you don't pain.
That's true.
Yeah, kind of quick.
Maybe if I'm 100, I'll do it.
Like, I swear to God, if I'm 99 and you're 100, and we go to Germany, and that's the way you die, I just see you go.
Just like combust.
I'd cry. I'd cry laughing.
Yeah. Oh,
and then I'd have a heart attack.
Yeah. You croak with me.
Yeah, I croak with you. Yeah. But we'll take a break, and when we get back, I want to hear about your research.
Okay, I'll give you this.
Like that.
I'll give
we'll
you
go
the
into all that shiny stuff about it. You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah. Very exciting.
Awesome. We'll be right back.
All right.
And we're back. Me and Jack were just talking about the tournament.
Yep.
Kind of exciting.
Yeah. I'm thrilled.
You're going to do it now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to try to also do the jiu-jitsu one if the dates align.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that one. But I'll go.
It'd be fun. I like doing the submissions and stuff.
I'll go to watch.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, bro.
Oh, of course, man.
It's a new town. It's in my hometown. So.
There you go. What a way. Okay, so you went to California, Niagara Falls, we established this earlier.
Yep.
But you went there to present research.
I did.
What was the research you presented?
So my research project was titled Impaired Neurogenesis Following Simulated Microgravity. And I'll break that apart a bit for you.
Yes.
So basically we became interested in this topic because astronauts had issues with their brains after being in space for a long time. So they had changes in the structure of their brain and the function of their brain. They had cognitive issues following spaceflight.
Why is that?
Well, we thought it was due to microgravity, like the lower amounts of gravity on the International Space Station the astronauts experience in space. And we thought that affected the production of new neurons in the brain in this process called neurogenesis. Yeah. Right. And so we took cells that make neurons called neural stem cells, and we put them in basically a chamber that spins the cells and simulates microgravity. It's like when you go over a hill and you're coming down, you feel your stomach start to rise. Yeah. It's like putting cells in that sort of system.
You go on a roller coaster, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, which I hate. So I feel bad for the cells. Yeah. No, I don't. They're cells. But, so we put them in the microgravity, and then we make them into neurons, basically. And we see how many neurons do we have after microgravity compared to just regular non-microgravity exposed cells. Yeah. And we saw that we had less neurons produced after microgravity. So that was pretty cool. Finding that microgravity impairs the production of neurons from neural stem cells.
So what exactly does that mean for like astronauts in space?
Yeah, so the process of neurogenesis has been shown to occur in adults and be important for cognition and learning. And these studies have been done a lot in mice where if you prevent these regions from producing new neurons, you have cognitive issues and learning deficits. So this process is important. This production of new neurons is important for adult. We imagine if we translate from mouse.
Yeah. So like, how is it going to help astronauts then? So that's like kind of like what I want to like get to the core of.
Exactly. That's a good question. So we have less neurons. What do we do from there? So we want to find like what's causing this. Like is there a specific, more molecular, relating to biochemistry, like explanation for this? And so we looked at the expression of certain genes that are involved in producing neurons, and we wanted to see if these genes were the expression of these genes, basically the volume at which they're spoken in the DNA. We wanted to see how that changed after microgravity, and we saw some decreases in expression of certain genes important for neuron development, and so that kind of serves as like a target where maybe if we restore signaling of a gene that's been reduced following microgravity, we can get neuron production back online and potentially restore neuron number,
Well, there you go. So then it would basically almost counteract the fact that them losing neuron cells in their brains, instead helping them maybe like keep a balance of the ones they have now, but also help produce more.
Exactly. Activate that pathway again that's getting messed up.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. And we also, a lot of our findings, especially, we found the neurons that were produced under microgravity also look different. They had longer like processes, which are kind of the long like tentacles you'll see coming out of a neuron. And those in the early cells, they like are kind of primitive. They're giving way to the dendrites and the axon, these structures of the neuron. Yeah. But so we looked at that finding. We looked at less neurons, and we looked at reduction of this certain gene. And I was able to connect that to a certain pathway Basically, it's like when two cells come in contact with each other, it activates this pathway, and those findings suggest that this pathway is disrupted. It's called Notch signaling pathway, which makes sense because you'd imagine if it's contact dependent, if cells need to touch each other, and you're in microgravity, you'd imagine that the cells have a harder time coming in contact if they're floating around more than they would be in normal gravity.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. My results supported my hypothesis about this specific Notch pathway, and now that we
has this research been done before, or are you the first one to do this research, you think?
People have sent like embryonic stem cells into space, but the specific effects on neuron production and like the gene expression stuff.
This is a new type of study.
Yeah.
There you go, man.
People have done similar stuff, but it is a finding. It's cool.
Yeah.
So I think it provides some evidence to the fact that this pathway can kind of be disrupted by microgravity and lead to some of the brain issues that we see in astronauts.
Yeah.
So it's a target. If we then upregulate that pathway that's being messed up, we turn it up, we activate it artificially. How would
you think they would have to do that though?
So like when these cells come in contact with each other, you have a receptor on one cell, something that it's like a catcher's mitt, and then like the ball on the other cell. We could add in balls. You know what I mean?
I threw you a ball.
I'm a receptor. I catch it.
You catch it.
Right. So we can add in balls. Yeah. Right. Or we could increase receptors.
So I'm kind of, my question is, how are you going to do that? You could do that with drugs, and
it would be like a chemical that we add to it. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think they would probably? I think you could ask, like, you could tell me, would it be either a drug? Do you think you could do it in the food they eat up there? Do you think it could be something like that?
It would have to be some sort of like drug, like pharmacological.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, why have they had it in their food? Like, potentially, like.
Well, it's not really like. It's like the Notch ligand, you call it. A ligand is just something that binds a receptor.
Got it.
So like the Notch ligand is like specific. You're not going to find it. It's like in the cells,
and
maybe in like meat.
So if they had to do it pharmaceutical wise, is there anything right now that would actually like almost?
I'm sure there are drugs or like ways to increase Notch signaling in the lab. I don't know if they're clinically validated for any reasons. I doubt it. But I mean, there's always. There's been a lot of chemistry research and in protein research to understand like how we can make things that activate certain proteins. We can understand the structure of these proteins and like design like molecules that bind to and like increase. We can make these proteins, so we have a lot of power over like making things to use in the lab as chemical treatments. And
was there anything else with the research you did, or that was it?
No, that's it.
Okay, so then in California, then what was I say? How do they like almost receive your research? You think like the crowd?
I think they really liked it. It was well received.
Yeah.
I think my presentation is very kind of understandable. I really walk through it step by step, and I tell a story with the research.
Good.
And it's intriguing, because it is a cool story. Because I had this initial idea about Notch signaling, and I had that in sophomore year. I hypothesized the Notch signaling was disrupted, and we didn't even like aim to test that directly. We kind of just tested gene expression, and the results we found kind of indicate that Notch is disrupted. So it was cool So I think it's a cool story.
Good.
Yeah.
So
I think it was well received, and I know it was well received at the Niagara Falls conference.
Good. What were some of the questions in California that were asked to you, do you think, that were like kind of tough questions?
I'll give one question that was asked in both. At both.
Yeah.
And I think that suggests that it was a good question, which is, well, did you test different levels of microgravity?
Yeah.
Which is a good question, because you'd think, okay, maybe the effects of microgravity on neuron production is like dose dependent, right? If you have more microgravity or less gravity, then you would have less neurons. And we did not test that.
Well, you had more gravity, you'd be like a pancake.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to some degree, you want the cells to live. Yeah. Right? Like, that's actually a part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But also, you want enough to have an effect.
Yeah.
So I think basically we kind of settled on a reasonable, on the previously determined, like, safe levels. Just because it's, like, simulates enough, we can get an effect, but it's not going to kill the cells.
Yeah. So.
But it's a good question.
Yeah. So did you actually test different levels of it?
No, we didn't.
You didn't.
We didn't. We just did one.
So do you think it would almost change it? Almost.
I think it could. Yeah. It could like mess up those genes even more and mess up Notch signaling even more. It could. Yeah, definitely. But it's also like that wasn't really like just a factor in our study. It wasn't looking at different amounts of microgravity. It was just a microgravity that's like similar to.
And what did they say when you said that?
You know, it was well received, but it's like not like you're gonna say, yeah, okay,
yeah. Like, what? Go back and do it again.
Like, it's wrong.
Yeah.
You know.
I definitely think you should definitely try and explore this research more in your career.
It would be cool, but I'm kind of moving on to graduate school where I kind of work in a lab that's working on their own stuff, and so I just kind of do it. Do the projects that they're doing, which I could talk about what the kind of labs I want to work in. But this research, my mentor wants to continue it next year.
Do you have to patent that research at all?
A what?
Do you have to patent that research at all?
No. But like it's my findings, so if anyone uses that, it's not published. I should make that clear.
Are you going to publish it?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I probably could. I mean, it's hard, and I could, but
I think you should. I think you should consider it.
I mean, it's just like it's a hard process, and it was kind of a.
But what's the harm of publishing it?
I guess.
You know what I mean? Like I get the
publication.
You get the publication and you get the credit. Yeah, but hear me out, right?
Yeah.
You publish it, you get the credit for it, and if someone else branches off your research, they know the core person that started was Jack O'Connell.
That's true, and they'd have to cite it. And
they have to cite it.
My first published.
Damn, you'd be in history books if this thing popped off. You know
well, yeah, and to get my PhD, I'm going to have multiple publications.
So why not just start now?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll talk to my mentor about it.
Yeah. I think I don't know. Like I don't know. I'm not a science guy, but
also the thing is, we had like changes in gene expression also, but they weren't. I remember I did talk to my mentor about this. So the first point is that our changes, our biggest change like was very close to reaching significance, but didn't. So we didn't have significant changes in gene expression per se, but the change in one gene. To say it's significant, and that you have to be 95% sure that result didn't happen just by chance. Our statistics showed that there was a 94% chance that didn't happen by chance. So it was like right there, but it wasn't quite there. Also, so this is point 2, which my mentor was telling me. If we were to submit this for publication, they would send it back saying, we need these additional experiments about notch signaling. Like I said, adding the notch ligand, activating notch to see if we restore neuron numbers. They want to see the whole picture. They want to see that you went through the whole story.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the next part of the story. Unfortunately, I'm on a time crunch. All right, I'm going to UConn in the fall. But she said that she wants to continue exploring that with future lab students, researchers.
Good.
So she's going to definitely do it. I'll get credit in there, I'm sure, somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying.
We just don't have enough now.
I just think that you should at least consider publishing what you got. You know
It'd be cool, but I just don't have enough, and then I can't be maybe if they build onto it with future researchers in the lab, and they publish, I'll get credit. I probably would.
Hopefully.
Because I did a lot of these experiments. I did the qPCR. Like I did 4 qPCR experiments. Which is like, all right. Yeah,
what do you really want to do though when you graduate and like get your PhD?
Well, the end goal is to like work in a university. I want to be like an academic, like professor, whatever. Do some research. But I've been considering more and more getting like a job in industry after for a few years after my PhD, just to make money.
Yeah. Do you like doing the research though?
I do love it, and that honestly initially wasn't what drew me the most to biology and stuff. I really like teaching.
Yeah,
I really do like sharing how beautiful biology can be, and getting people interested in it, and like just also being able to like make a positive difference in people's lives.
Yeah,
but the research is incredible, and it's really cool stuff, and I'm grateful I've been able to be a part of some cool research.
Yeah, I think you should. I mean, you don't have to listen to me, but
no, it's
consider any possibility.
Yeah. I can also talk to you about my previous research at UConn, which is addiction research. I could talk about that. I could also talk about the kind of research that I hope to do at UConn.
Sure, let's hear it, because I think you talked about the UConn one on here before. Yeah. I think you did.
I think so, probably.
Either way, if you did or didn't, no big deal. I do want to hear about your one you want to do, though.
Yeah.
Because I think you have talked about the UConn one. So let's hear about the one you want to do.
Yeah, so one of the top labs that I really want to work in at UConn, obviously I have to do rotations and figure it out and actually get placed. But I interviewed with the PI, and we got along great, and it went well. This lab studies the hypothalamus, which is a deep brain structure, which is conserved, meaning it's present in like tons of mammals and just a bunch of different animals, and it's like the master regulator, like the homeostatic regulator. It drives hunger, thirst, sex drive. There's like anger stuff. There's it makes you have a fever when you're sick. Like it regulates all these different processes in your body. So it's very interesting for that reason. It's just like there's so many different cell types in it that do so many different things. They regulate, like I said, I'm not going to reiterate, but just so many processes. And with the lab that I want to work in, basically tries to characterize or classify all these different cells in the hypothalamus using like gene expression data and stuff like that. And then like correlate those cell types or to like determine a causative role of certain cells. So like identifying, we have these cells that express these genes. What do these cells do? So they'll block those genes and they'll do like one thing they looked at in some studies was feeding behavior. Right? So if you block these neurons and you observe effects on feeding, what happens? It shows you what circuits, what molecules, so biochemistry, molecular biology, as well as circuit, neuroscience, connecting that to behavior, which I find really cool.
No, I definitely think that's very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going back a bit to your other research you did at California.
Yep.
So you're talking about the neuron stuff, right? It helps rebuild what was it again?
They make neurons.
They make neurons.
Yep.
Could this research though also help people with like certain mental issues with like, let's say like Alzheimer's and stuff like that? I don't know if that
I think the Alzheimer's etiology, meaning like the causes, are different because I think it doesn't have to do with maybe to some degree neurogenesis.
Well, more
is involved.
So let's say like memory loss, all that stuff. Do you think that has?
Yeah, adult neurogenesis certainly could be, but I don't think. If that's being disrupted in Alzheimer's, which it could be, it's a good hypothesis. I don't think it would be driven by notch signaling.
Yeah, because notch signaling is just low gravity.
Or right, and other things happens in the normal development, like when you're developing.
Yeah,
it like tells the brain how to pattern itself. Basically, it's like important for normal brain development. But in terms of adult neurogenesis in Alzheimer's, I think the mechanisms of Alzheimer's could do that, but they're not notch mediated. They're mediated through. I mean, the canonical understand. I mean, obviously we don't understand Alzheimer's.
Yeah,
we have very little understanding.
Yeah,
but what people typically think about when they think about Alzheimer's is accumulation.
You comfortable?
Oh yeah, I'm really comfortable. Is like accumulation of proteins over time, which then mess up the neuron.
Yeah, and
so you get that, and then you have sort of like neural degeneration, or at least degeneration of like signaling.
Yeah. All right.
So it's like other factors. There's so many factors in any given disease. There are so. I mean, obviously there's some like single gene diseases.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I guess, if that would help in any cases like that stuff, like Alzheimer's.
I mean, more research on neurogenesis could elucidate some help. Yeah, could provide some help.
Yeah, because I know, as you're talking about before, with the rebuilding the paths and all that stuff. So I was wondering, because some issues of that happens with memory loss.
And it's the same type of research. Yeah, it's all the same type of stuff, which is like figuring out what's wrong, finding a mechanism that gives you a target. You mess with the target, see if it works.
Yeah, but you want to kind of learn a lot with your new research you want to do at college at UConn. You want to learn with a lot about the hypothalamus with memory, right? You said
not memory. It's like behavior, but it's all sorts of different kinds of things. It's like sexual behavior, aggressive behavior, social behavior, how hungry you are, how thirsty you are, how hot you are, how cold you are. It's so much.
What are you hoping to achieve? Like, what do you really want to try to do? Almost?
I just love research that connects certain circuits to behavior.
Yeah.
And like certain signaling pathways to behavior. It's just really cool how you can.
Are you going to try to change the behavior of certain things?
That's the goal of a lot of the research is if you have an idea as to like what molecule might be driving a certain behavioral phenotype, you mess with that molecule or that pathway or that cell or that circuit, and then you see what happens.
Do you think that could get rid of like certain behaviors in people?
If you find a good treatment for it, I mean, listen, they came up with a lot of good pharmaceuticals for mental health issues. Obviously, we don't have like perfect drugs, without side effects. But
SSRIs are not really perfect.
But they're effective.
Depends, I think,
Depends on the person, obviously.
Yeah, they weren't really effective with me.
Right, but for a lot of people they are, and they've been clinically demonstrated to be effective.
Yeah, no, I definitely think. Yeah,
like we use them for a reason.
Yeah, that's why I got God.
right.
Clears all my illness. But
Don't do that, folks.
What?
Take your medicine.
It's crazy. Listen, I'm doing good.
Yeah, that's
I'm
good.
doing a lot better.
Right, but other people out there may need the
Who knows? Maybe they just need a good.
That's true, but also
pathway.
maybe they need medicine. Also,
Or they could use God
yeah, true, or medicine,
or God.
or medicine.
But no, I think that's very interesting research. And you talk about like the hunger and all that stuff. Like, would it affect some like? Would you like be able to like make someone never hungry again potentially?
Potentially, if you increase like leptin,
Yeah.
activity of leptin neurons. But the thing is, it's like there's no such thing as a free lunch in biology.
Yeah.
I know it's like an economics term, but it's true in biology. It's like anything has a drawback.
Yeah.
So like, so the first point being that like when you do something, it's going to have some effect you don't predict, right? And the second kind of like to go further into that is that single molecules and single cells affect way more things than you could like possibly understand or predict. So it's hard to like isolate. But I mean, we've had good drugs developed, so it's possible. And look, Ozempic.
Ozempic.
Okay, very effective drug, and we made it because we understood the mechanism. We understood how we could do it. So I can explain the mechanism of
Sure.
Ozempic.
I don't know. I can't remember what Ozempic is.
Okay, Ozempic's like the weight loss drug that everyone's taking.
Oh,
Semaglutide or
yeah, but does it even work?
it works.
Really?
It makes people lose muscle and fat.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So basically, like the way that Ozempic works.
Yeah.
Okay. So produced by your
I'm
pancreas
still listening.
are two hormones, insulin and glucagon. And these they kind of work like a seesaw, where if you have sugar in your blood, if you just consume a donut or something, insulin will be produced and sent out, and allows you to take up the sugar, right, into your cells, into your muscle, into your liver to be stored as glycogen. Okay.
Yeah.
Glucagon is the other hormone or peptide that's produced by the pancreas, and rather than when you just ate, it's when you're starving. Glucagon is produced. And what glucagon does is it tells your liver to free up sugar, because your liver stores a lot of sugar. It tells your liver to free up sugar, which boosts your blood sugar, which makes you less hungry. Right. Because blood sugar makes you feel hungry when you have low blood sugar. So it like frees up sugar into your blood to make you feel more satiated when you haven't eaten in a while. Yeah. So what Ozempic is a GLP-1 agonist. So what that means is it's a glucagon-like peptide, and then it's an agonist. So it increases signaling at the receptor,
where it basically breaks down the fat and muscles faster almost.
Basically what it does is by activating this glucagon pathway. So it's basically a molecule or like a protein or whatever. It's a molecule that increases glucagon signaling. So what happens when you have increased glucagon signaling? You have more sugar being released from your liver. When you have that, you don't feel hungry as much. So they don't eat as much. It kills your appetite because but isn't that dangerous? But isn't that your sugar up into your blood?
But isn't that dangerous to a point?
Yeah, probably.
Where it's like, because you just said earlier, like you're burning fat and muscle.
Yeah, so it should be reserved for people that are like morbidly obese and have like, it's for diabetes patients. You know what I mean? Is like what it's for. So it's not for like, but you have like Instagram models taking it who are like, in perfect shape because they want to be like unrealistically skinny, which is dangerous. You know what I mean? They're losing what little muscle they have. It just doesn't
sound like I don't know. I heard about it, like I knew about the drug. I didn't know what the name of it was. And I don't know. I just don't think that's like a good idea. Like, I mean, hey, I might take it to cut weight for wrestling.
Yeah,
but,
right.
You know what I mean? But
it's a great drug for people with diabetes and who are morbidly obese.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
How?
Because it doesn't matter. You have so much energy to burn that if you're burning energy all the time.
But you're talking about the blood sugar, but it helps the blood sugar?
It will like burn. It will.
Well, diabetes, it's like, don't they need like a certain number, like certain level of, I don't know how, if you could explain
so like
that,
they'll have low blood sugar from insulin.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So they'll increase blood sugar with with like.
I think
glucagon.
insulin and blood sugar are the same thing. I don't know why, but
They are.
They are.
Yeah, when you have blood sugar, insulin comes in to break it down.
Yeah,
But then insulin breaks down all the blood sugar, and then you have low blood sugar.
yeah.
So then glucagon will increase blood
And that's
sugar.
why that's why like a friend of ours has to eat stuff to help
Exactly, 'cause
replenish the
he's taking
sugar,
insulin.
and then sometimes it's too much sugar because his body can't destroy
And
the
he needs his
sugar,
insulin.
and then he takes insulin to destroy the sugar.
Exactly.
It's a fighting battle.
Exactly.
It's a losing
But it
battle.
doesn't destroy the sugar; it takes it into
No,
your
I know
cells.
you're saying. Yeah.
But yeah, so for like really morbidly obese people, it's great because like they have a lot of muscle.
Mm-hmm.
You mean from like because it's a lot
Do
of
they?
mass. They're bulking hard. You know what I mean?
They're
and to
bulking
carry that
hard.
weight around,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of them do have more muscle than the average person.
Yeah.
And so you can afford to lose a little bit of muscle if it's killing your appetite, which is what they need. They need to
Yeah.
like.
Well, I
Kill their
think
appetite
it's for.
and
I
have
think
less
I
insulin
think it's definitely
resistance.
for them.
It is.
But
And it's an
but that
effective drug.
doesn't get dangerous though when you're. It doesn't. Wouldn't it cause? I don't know. I'm trying to learn. Like
It
when
would
it
increase
when
your
it,
blood sugar, but
Yeah,
that makes you not hungry.
yes, I understand that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying wouldn't it eventually potentially cause like diabetes more often?
If it was like consistently high,
yeah.
yeah, it could be that that would drive insulin resistance. That's a
So-
good point.
So if they're trying to avoid diabetes by taking this drug, but it potentially, I'm not saying it will, but potentially could.
It could make it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's a good point.
Is it even? Like,
I'm not exactly sure like the specific diabetes treatment protocol. with
Yeah,
Ozempic.
that's an interesting. I don't know.
But that's a good point. That's a good point.
I just you
Shows
know.
you're thinking about it. It's a good thought. You're right.
What do I know?
No, you're right.
I'm a
It's
history
good-
guy.
You were thinking about it well. It's a good point.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it, like if,
I have not. Honestly,
that's why I
don't
asked
know
about the whole
diabetes treatment very
That's
well.
why I asked about the whole blood sugar insulin things. I was like, well, if that's increasing it, and then you need the and I just
Yeah, because it's not good to have high blood sugar.
just to me like I don't know if I found like whatever, but like I found like almost like this loophole in the system where it's like where I think I did at least where it's like you're increasing your blood sugar, but isn't that potentially going to isn't that like going to be almost a tipping point if you're already close to the edge of that?
I'm sure there's a piece I'm missing.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying I'm
Yeah.
not. Listen, you're not an expert in this field.
Yeah.
You're an expert in everything else, though.
No.
but I'm not an expert either, and I'd love to potentially here. Listen, if you're listening to Ozempic, if you want to defend yourself,
Yeah, right.
give me a call.
Pharmaceutical executives,
Yeah.
listening to this.
Yeah. If you want to like ask you about it, sure. But
It's an effective drug for some people.
sure,
Is my understanding of it.
sure. I think it's
But it's
effective.
bad for others.
I think it's effective if you don't have high blood sugar to begin with, right? If you have high blood sugar to
Yeah,
begin
but
with,
if it's a weight loss drug, those people are going to have high blood sugar. Like it's just
yeah,
like,
but isn't it going to increase it consistently all
that's
the time?
true. Probably, if I understand it, maybe I'm misunderstanding its function.
I don't know.
Let's see if Ozempic increases blood sugar level.
Yeah, look it up because I want to make sure we're not just talking out of our butts or anything like that. But I don't know. I want to like make sure that it's not like because I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know much about the pharmaceutical stuff and everything, but it's interesting. You know what I mean? But have you found anything?
I just had to rephrase my question.
Oh. Google is our friend. Man.
Okay, so I had it flipped. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So it
Talking to the mic.
lowers.
Talking to the mic.
Okay, yeah. So I had it flipped. So Ozempic lowers glucagon secretion and stimulates insulin.
Okay.
So that makes sense. So
instead of
you're
it
taking all the
raising
sugar
your
out of your blood.
instead of it raising
But
your
how does it like? I don't understand how it.
so it lowers your blood sugar. You're gonna get more hungry.
Right.
I thought, right?
There's something we don't understand. Obviously, it's very complex. These things are very complex,
So
and there's a lot of like.
So you're gonna be more. So let me get this right. If I'm not trying to like break this down, your blood sugar, right? I'm just trying to dumb it down for myself, right?
Yeah.
You lower your blood sugar and you get more hungry. That makes sense. I've been there before, you know. But so then your insulin comes in. Oh God, I don't even get it. So your insulin comes in and then it takes away the.
You know what it would be?
What?
Maybe
Help
I think
me.
if you're lowering, this makes sense for the diabetes treatment. By lowering blood sugar, follow meals and stuff, you make insulin more sensitive to blood sugar.
Yes.
Right. And the hallmark of diabetes is insulin resistance. So you're counteracting insulin
aren't you starting
resistance.
to use your insulin again, though, a lot more, though, for sugar? Because you're going to use this drug that's going to activate your insulin more often. Then aren't you going to just use your insulin more than you should?
But if you have like less blood sugar for like a period of time, insulin will get more sensitive.
To higher blood sugar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a vaccine where you put the virus in.
Yeah, and your
then
body responds to it.
Your body responds to like the tiny thing, and then it kind of builds the. Okay, I can almost understand it. I'm still kind of like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
and I won't take it.
Yeah, it is tough, but like I understand kind of partly.
Yeah,
how
the
it
confusion.
It will reduce insulin resistance, which is kind of like going against diabetes. Yeah. Makes sense.
But this is the end of the show. That's okay.
Okay. Well, it was a great show. Thank you for having me.
I want to say this is the Longtime Podcast. We're listening to Saranich, and thank you to my great guest, Jack.
Thank you, sir. It was a lot
Science
of fun.
guy, Mr.
Yes,
Know-It-all, big brain all around.
I don't know it all.
Big brain, know-it-all, cool guy, Jackie Poo.
Hey, appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you, and good night.
Thanks, y'all.
Right there, mate. You're listening to the Lounging Around podcast. Stick around for more.